What's up guys, and welcome back for some Glorious Smite. Today we're going to do a follow-up to the Power of Defense video I just did and give you some tanky builds for mages, assassins, and maybe even hunters, and maybe even a few assassins, right? Warriors and guardians, you already expect it, you guys should already know what you're doing. So, I believe first and foremost we'll do what a lot of people would perceive to be the most difficult, and that would be a mid-mage. The reason for that is you don't really want to go early magic defense because the jungler spends a lot of time in mid and building magic defense isn't ideal. But by the same reason you don't want to build early fizz defense because the mid mage and the enemy team is, well, probably a mid mage as well. So you can see the problems. So we'll take a classic mid mage, Isis, Nuwad, it's all good. So to get the most out of your tanky build or your warrior build, you want to max out on pain, protections, CDR. That's the core. CDR obviously to get more cycles of your abilities, pen to maximise your base, and protections to outtrade. Simple. So obviously going to want pen boots. 10 flat pen is very good. Now on a lot of mid mages, spear and obsidian are probably about the same. There's not a big difference. On Isis I tend to go towards spear. I think it's just a little better on Isis. That's my personal opinion. Again, a lot of people think spear is the be all end all and obsidian is just trash now. Obsidian's still got its places, right? Don't buy into that. They're both good, especially if you're getting flat pen. If you're only getting CDR boots, of course spear's going to be better, but percentage pen into flat pen is really good because obviously going to chunk off 33% and then take away 10 from that 33%, so it combos really well. And of course, you can change this depending on your team because someone might have. I mean, you don't want to get obsidian if someone's got voice on because they don't interact too well. I mean, obviously they'll deal you more damage if you get both. It's not efficient, and you know these builds are all about efficiency. So you generally go with these two items. This gives you essentially true damage without any stacks on spear against the mid mage because this gives you 25 flat pen against 30 magic D. Only two mages will have more than that: Jonqui and Freya. You're not likely to see Freya. You might see Jonqui. Of course, Jonqui will have even more than that because he also gets his passive, so try and stack spear against Jonqui, I guess is what I'm trying to say here. So from there you've got a couple of routes, right? You want CDR, you want health, and you want protections. The order is going to change depending on the matchup. No two games should really be the same. So it gets tricky. If you feel like you're winning and you just want to get more cycles of your abilities, this would be your opportunity to get any CDR. If you feel you need the breastplate, get the breastplate. If you feel, you know, you'd rather just have the MP5 and just get the Chronos Pendant, get the Chronos Pendant. So if you get the Chronos Pendant, the next item is obvious. It should be Hided Archon. And honestly, from there you've got two routes again. You can cap your physical defense, or not your physical defense, your CDR. Again, it depends on the matchup. But Mail Renault works really well here because this will cap your defense and give you some health and give you more fizz D, which is really nice. It only gives 40, but if you get this fully stacked you get 65 off it, so you'll get an additional 105 physical defense, which is really nice. As you can see down here, your physical defense is 168 now, which is really solid, and you've got 95 magic D, which again is pretty good. So from here you can either go for a big powerhouse item, which would be Rodded Tahuti, or which, you know, it still gives you a decent whack of power. And it helps you with your A's because it gives the 25% additional damage on your A's as well. Or you can skip Rod and where the fuck's Rod to? Right? Or you can skip Rod and you can just get extra health, E-staff. Now people are going to say, would it make more sense just to get warlocks and stack up warlocks? Honestly, the difference between warlocks and ethereal is almost non-existent. So this build you would get 56 power through the E-staff passive onto the base 30, giving you 86, so you're missing out on 14 power from having 0 stacks. So warlocks with 100 stacks gives you 14 more power than E-staff for this build, but when you buy E-staff you just immediately get it. You don't have to rush it, you don't have to try and desperately try to stack it up, you just buy it and instantly get the values out of it. 14 power is basically fuck all. You're not going to miss that, you're not going to notice that unless someone gives away 1 HP. You don't care because obviously it'll be 1 HP, you think, bastard, if I had that 14 fucking power. But the benefit of not stacking, the instant boost from E-staff is really big. Of course you can change up the order of these, but I think the core to remember for all mid mages is spear and then Spear or Obsidian, and then Pain Boots. Those are your core damage items, right? And if you want, these can all be changed. I think 2 straight defense items, 2 straight pen items, and then 3 defense items. They can be hybrid. Is probably the best route. And if you want a big powerhouse item, it's always Rod of the Hootie. Just because the additional weight gives you damage on your A's, again help you outtrade the opponent. It's really big. So if you had to get 3 damage items, you get your 2 pen and you get Rod. That would be it. That's your core damage. Then your defense is entirely up to you. You can get CDR like Breastplate. Fizz D is always important. You can slot that in. Hide Urchin is always one of the best, so you can slot that in. E-Staff's always valuable, so you can slot that in. Where the fuck's E-Staff? But it doesn't have to be staff, you know. I'm just putting out for that's kind of how you would do it. You're still going to get a lot of power. You're getting close to true damage off these items alone. If you stack Spear against most classes, you are getting true damage, whatever your true damage is. You've got the best single powerhouse item in the game, so you can get that. And you've got a very, very, very good value defense item in Breastplate. It's less than 2,000 gold. It's obscene. Like, it just makes it so good. To put it in perspective, I used to hate the item at 2,300 gold, or whatever it was. But now it's less than 2,000. It only seems like, well, it's only 300, but less than 2,000 makes it a cheap item. But it's got the stats of a mid-range item. So it's cheap, but it's got the stats of mid-range. Fucking phenomenal. Urchin against 2,400 for an expensive item, stat-wise, because it offers 65 with full stats. Or full fucking stacks. Let's say full stats, but same difference. And also offers 250 HP mana. Yeah, it's pretty good. And E-Staff is more towards the expensive end, but you get what you pay for. It's phenomenal. So yeah, I think that's a good core for like a mid-mage. Again, it can change slightly, just as long as you get your pen boots and your obsidian, your spear, you're sorted. Nothing else really matters past that. So now let's say you're a solo mage, right? So Aphrodite and Shang-Ai work really well in solo, so I like both of them. Can't say no to that rabbit though. So this would depend entirely on who your lane opponent is, right? You're going to get your little stupid starter item, then you're going to get pen boots, right? No, you're not doing double starter item. It's terrible. In fact, never go double starter item unless you're against me. Then please do it. I like easy kills. Makes my life so much easier. I like you delaying your boots and being super slow as a mage and having only one pitiful HP item and another item that does basically fuck all. Please do that. If you're in my team, don't do it though. Bad. So you get your pen boots, right? If you're against the Fizz, it's obvious. You're going Breastplate, like probably a Fizz jungle as well. So you get so much value out of this item. Why stop there? Oh yes, why stop there? If it is a Fizz solo and a Fizz jungle, you could just go into your CDR, nice and easy. This gives you 180 Fizz defense early. I guarantee you they ain't building much pen early. The jungle might have Jotuns, but that's 11 flat pen. It's doing basically fuck all for him. He needs Titans to go with that to get anything. The solo lane will not have exec. He will not have Titans this early. You outtrade him pretty hard right now. So from here you want to go into more damage. Now, it's always best to get HP with your items. Yes, Breastplate doesn't, but I know a lot of people are going to want the magic defense's Void Stone. It's hard to recommend it. I would usually again just go Spear and Chang'e. I think it works best for because you can spam your abilities, you got max CDR, you can apply it, keep applying it, it's going to feel really, really good. Then again, you want good value health items. E-Staff just springs to mind. And then you've got 2 routes. If the mage is quite scary, in fact, if the mage is scary, right, we'll skip this. If the mage is scary, you would get Hided Urchin, right? If the mage isn't scary, you would get E-Staff. Then, on the next time, if the mage is still scary, you get E-Staff. If the mage isn't scary, you get something to annoy the enemies. I call that Gem of Visor. That is, it's not really a defense item, because it's only offered 250 health, but it's so fucking annoying, right? You only get Pen Boots and Spear the Magus. You might be thinking, wow, I've only got 155 power, I'm dealing no damage. But you're spamming your abilities. They're up all the goddamn time. Your one of things on like a 3-second cooldown. So you can keep applying Gem of ISO over and over and over and over again. In fact, I thought if I hover this it would tell me what the fuck it does. It doesn't. Maybe it does? Nah. I'm pretty sure they slow last 2 seconds though. So if you can apply a slow every 3 seconds, it lasts 2 seconds. That's pretty good. Even if it lasts a second, it's still good because if you weave your 1 and your 3 properly, they'll never be unslowed. That's really big, really useful for your team. You get max CDR, you get plenty of pen, and you get plenty of protections. Again, you're 245 Fizz D, that's disgusting. you'd outbox a hunter no problem, and you've got 95 magic D, which is still respectable. The only stat you're less on here is health. Like I said, if the mage is causing you problems, you would ditch that and just get E-staff instead, which gives you a total of 2875 HP, 4% cooldown, which is what you want. Your max pen, max CDR, you're looking pretty good. If you're up against a mage in solo, now this is where things get tricky because there is no magical cooldown item that offers defense. Magical defense with cooldown, no such item exists. Spirit Robe doesn't count. So you're in a kind of weird position. You want cooldown, but you want magic D. I usually just give in and get Voidstone. Voidstone offers 15 magical armor reduction, so 15 plus 10 is offering you 25 flat pen essentially. Aura comes first, it's technically not flat pen, but it works the same for our build. So you're getting close to true damage at 2 items in. You will easily deal more damage than them, plus you've got a boosted 50 magical defense. So they're going to deal a lot less damage to you, and you're going to deal a lot more damage to them. The downside of this build is you get no health, and the jungler will most likely be a fizz, so you'll be in a lot of trouble, which is bad. From here, you're kind of forcing a weird route if it's up against the mage. You don't have to go Voidstone. If you're already quite far ahead, one item you can get instead, or if the jungler is quite scary, I would stack the warlocks, right? And then from here, you do need cooldown, but you're forced into a weird route. I'm assuming you're still going to be in lane, but you really want cooldown, so you might just have to give in and get Spirit Robe. I don't recommend it, but it would definitely help you here. Then depending on the enemy team comp, if it's, you know, more mage is scary, if the fizz isn't scary, you would get the Voidstone. If the fizz is scary and, you know, you want to kind of balance it out, you could still go ahead with Archon, E-staff, right, and then end on Melvernell. If the fizz isn't scary, don't get this, but if it is, fine, because this gives you 15 and 50, it's 30% CDR, it's still pretty good. Yeah, 30% CDR, you get 3400 health, which is disgusting, especially since you've got that passive, and you've got 1 pen aim. The downside is, of course, it's just 1 pen aim. It's not ideal, you want a little bit more to squeeze it out, so you're kind of fucked up in a weird spot. You could always ditch this and get the Chronos Pendant. I don't recommend it, it's not ideal, but, you know, you're against mages. I know what you're thinking, wait, if it's more mages, why have I still got more fizz defense? Because you just need the fizz defense more. I'll explain. Mages do a set amount with their abilities. They have to wait for them to come off cooldown and then reapply it. Physicals just keep hitting, they don't stop, so you need more physical defense to block that more incoming damage. You've got a lot of health in this build, so you're fine against mages. So it's just that simple. The other route you could go is a bit more risky, but you know, you could still do it. Again, we're assuming it's more mages than anything else here, right? So we'll go Voidstone. We'll get Breastplate anyway. And then we're going to end on... You can either get Hide, Heartwold, or Bulwark. It's not ideal, but it depends on the matchup. If the fizz is still causing you troubles, you need to get Archon. If it's still mainly the mages causing trouble, you get either Heartwold if it's needed for the team, Phase MP5 as well, which is always valuable, or you get Bulwark for the additional health. If you get Bulwark, this takes you up to a lot of health, 3400. You can actually squeeze more health out of this build as well. You can drop the Breastplate and retake the Melvernell, which will boost your health again and take you up to 3675, which is disgusting as well. You still got basically mages and hunters. Assassins will usually have an Archer or something, but against mages and hunters you deal quite a lot of damage still. It's against the other classes you don't deal as much, but this is more of a health build rather than a protection build. It's not super strong, but it's still pretty good. Checking time now, right, so we're 14 minutes in. So yeah, there's a couple of routes. It is more difficult against mages. You prefer not to be against mages, but against mages, health's good. Voidstone's good. The only downside is you really want cooldown, and you can't always get it. I'll give you my build before we go. This is what I would normally do, or this is what I have done. I just give in and get Chronos Pendant. I just give up and go, fuck it, I'll get Chronos Pendant. Then I get Hide. Then I get melee renewal, because I still want to be prepared for the enemy hunter. And then I get spear. Not always in this order, but this is the itemization. It still gives 170 by 95 unit. I think that's not great, but you know, you still get 2875 HP. Basically, these 3 items, pen, cooldown, protections, outtrade the mage. Regen, further cooldown, cap it off 40% is really nice. Helps you against the hunter. E-staff helps you against mages, gives you a bigger mana pool, bigger HP pool, helps with melee renewal, it feels good. Spear to maximize your damage. It's not ideal, like I said, it's awkward against mages. So next up, what have we got to do? Is it assassins? Yeah, assassins, okay, so I know someone said Mercury, so we'll do Mercury. Well, it's pretty easy. You start with your, it depends on the matchup. I'm going to assume they've not got too much hard CC, and I would probably just get Warrior Tab on. Then I would go Exec. Yeah, Exec. If you're going for a bulky build, the Exec's better on Titans. So yeah, Exec. Then you want, depending on the enemy team, and how they're building right now, and how you're feeling in the match, you'd either go Hided Urchin, Runeforge, Frostbound, or Rage. If you're feeling quite confident in having a good game, go to Rage. Then to fuck with enemies, again, depending on the balance, we'll just assume it's you can hide. Again, every match is different. Then I usually go into Runeforge, just to kind of fuck with the hunters all the more. Where the fuck is Runeforge? Scroll past that. You can of course get Midgardian. Midgardian might be slightly better, so we'll grab that. And then Frostbound to finish. So this gives you plenty of pen for the exec, right? It gives you attack speed. You've got your 2. And then you've got Rage, which doubles your, basically your base enhance. So your enhance damage is 206, right? With all your pen, you're going to get quite close to that actual number, which is 206. Even if you just say 180 or something. Then you've got Rage to give you quite decent consistency to get a crit, which will double it, which is quite strong. Then you get Frostbound, so they can't escape, and they slow down their attack speed. Then you get Midgardian, so if they hit you back, they get slowed down movement speed and attack speed again, allowing you to easily outtrade them. Then you get Hided Urchin to be super bulky again and be able to fight mages. So this takes you to 195 Fizz D, 113 Magic D. Your health is 2825, and again you've got a good core damage. In fact, I would say a core damage for a kind of crit build would be Tabai, Exec, Rage. Best pen item for Fizz, Exec. Rage to give you the best consistency for a crit, and then items that outtrade the opponent. You obviously need beads, and then you can either get sprint, which I don't think you'll need, but it depends from matchup to matchup. Then if you really want to go full super cunt tryhard mode, you would get Shield Underworld. As if these 3 items don't fuck with their Fizz enough. You want Shielded Underworld as well. You want to go that extra fucking mile to just really fuck with them. So yeah, that's what I would do. That would be the tanky macro. So if we were to do another assassin that isn't AA based as a sort of tanky, found it's too easy. I think Bastet would probably be the best balance for it, wouldn't it? So we'll take Bastet. So Bastet. We're gonna grab Reinforced Greaves. Then we're going to get Breastplate. Then we're going to get Hide, Titan's Bane, Runeforge, or Midgardian, both good. Get Midgardian for this example. And either a flat pen item to boost your DPS a little bit more, which would be Beat Stick, or you would get another damage aim. For this instance, I'll get Beat Stick, I think. It gives you 270 physical defense, 113 magic defense, a decent whack of pen because you get the 20 flat into the 30, or the 33% into the 20 flat, which gives you quite decent. In fact, let's just do an example against ourselves. We've got 270, right? So that's giving us like what? 80 pen? More than 80? 90 pen? Yeah, 90 pen. And then they get 20 flat. So we're getting 110 pen against ourselves with this build, which is pretty good. Chunks us quite hard. But we've still got a decent whack of health, 2765. We've got 25% CDR, which is really good. And we can have even more. If you want to not box as much and have more cooldown, You can scrap the mid-guardian for mail. See, I don't think mail offers enough actual defense. I think it's more of an item you get on top of your defense, whereas I don't think we've got enough real defense. But with this build, pretty sorted. You can chop and change the order, but I'd say these are probably your better core to maximise your damage. It's possible to scrap the Brawl's Beast deck for another kind of hybrid item if you really want to, but that's entirely up to you. Other decent items are Runic Shield, as always. It's just a strong item in general. It depends on the team comp. If it's a high mage team, Runic Shield is so good, so undervalued, because the aura is ridiculous. Reducing their power, reducing attack speed from everyone, giving you protections, and giving you a little bit of power. It's just such a good value item. But again, it depends on the enemy team comp. And yeah, that would be that. So that would be Assassins. Now if it's to do a Hunter, I think the best Hunter for this is actually one I showed you earlier. It's Uller. That's because of his Axe Stance gives him lifesteal and his Axe Stance for free. So it's quite easy just to build whatever boots you want. It doesn't really matter, honestly. And it, oh well, so I can't figure out what it gives. Oh well. So we give Warrior Tabi, Exec. It's just the exact same as you would do with the Mercury, because they're basically the same kind of route here. You want to maximize your like in-hand damage. So if your basic attack does not crit, the critical crit chance is by 10% up to 5, so you can go up to 80% crit chance. But still, it still offers a base stat. It's the most consistent, which is what you want, especially since you're not getting any lifesteal. Then you get Headed Urchin. You can chop and change this order, but these are just the best items. And my Guardian Mill. Now you don't have to get Frostbite if you really don't want it. What you can do is get Malice. Now, the reason Malice not Deathbringer is you're not really intending to lifesteal. Same with Mercury, if you want another damage, it'd be Malice. Because you're not lifestealing, you're not intending to lifesteal. You're intending to just hit them and out-trade them with your raw tankiness. And it's the same with this build. In fact, how much health do you get out of this build? 3,000 health, holy shit. So you get 3,000 health out of this build on an Uller with Exec and Rage. You get 3,000 health, you get attack speed slow, movement speed slow, and your Frostbound. Attack speed slow, movement speed slow, and your Midgardy Mill, and they do work together. And it offers you lots of physical defense, and then you get the Urchin. Nearly 200 Fizz D, 130 Magic D. Like, the build is disgusting, and the way his ult works just gives him such a good boost. In Axe Stance you get Lifesteal, and Bow Stance you get attack speed. In my opinion, right, I think it works really, really well. Especially on Ulla, again, because he got bought on lifesteal, so he doesn't need it. Yes, it means you need to go melee, but you get 3,000 health and you're tanky as fuck. You feel like a warrior. You usually go punch people. So yeah, that's kind of how I do it. I think that's just done everything. What time we at? 22 minutes, nearly 23. Yeah, so I feel like that explains a lot of the builds fairly well. You just want good value defense items, right? So, like, I'll just quickly recap. On mages, you want good value defense items. Headed Urchin is always one of the most valuable. E-Staff's always one of the most valuable. If you don't need to stack, you just instantaneously get the 600. What does Warlocks offer you at base? 300, yes, it's half. You need to actually stack out quite a lot to get close to E-Staff, which is kind of what makes E-Staff so strong. And how long does this slow last? It is 2 settings. Holy shit, that's disgusting. So imagine that with a 3 second cooldown on one ability. They could never escape you. So the other good value items is Spear. Other good value items. Obsidian's still a good value item. Pen Boots is still a good value. Breastplate's still a good value. Where's Breastplate? Breastplate of Valor. Right at the top. Of course it is. And Pen Boots. I'm not saying these are just like good value items. You want pen, you want cooldown, you want protections, you want good value health. Usually for the most part Fizz D is more important, but you know, Magic D does come into it from time to time. So these are all good value items. In fact, it's a pretty decent build. Even though these Spear and Obsidian don't work too well together, it's still good value. And you're still fairly tanky. 205 Fizz, 95 Magic, 26, 25 health. Yeah, even though these are just good value items, it's still a good build, just even though they're good value. And for Fizz, the good value items are... Let's just click them back, it's not a Wheelix. Cool. So the good value items for Fizz are Exec or Frostbound, because it offers a good trading. It's not just the health, it's the fact that it offers attack speed slow and movement speed slow. It makes it a good trade. Makes people panic as well. Urchin. Midgardian, because it helps you trade again. Runic Shield can be good, but it's more of a matchup dependent. Exec offers incredibly good value. And again, based on the same kind of Void Shield's also kind of decent value. It's just some Fizz need to go Titans and Void and Titans don't work, but Void and Executioners work, so keep that in mind. So Titans is good value. Rage is good value if you're crit based. Kins is decent value if you've got some decent attack speed items and decent hitching. Kins can be good value. Runeforge can be good value as well because it's really cheap. It's 2050, isn't it? Yeah, 2050 gold. It's really cheap. Jotun's is really good as well because it offers pen, which is good, cooldown, which is good, mana, which is good. So it's good value as well. So these are your good value items. So yeah, just try and mix and match it and try and find a good value. Like even that build right there, if it had boots in it, it would be really good. You move Titans, put boots in there, that's a fucking amazing build. In fact, it almost looks like my weakest build. So yeah, it'd be an amazing build. You'd have nearly 3k health. If you get Reinforced Greaves, you will have over 3k health. You'll have 25% CDR. You'll have plenty of protections, plenty of ways to trade. You know, it's just so good. So yeah, that's kind of how I would make gods into tanks. You're just looking for your good value defense items, and it depends matchup to matchup and how you're doing in that match. So yeah, guys, that's what I would do. Hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. As always, see you all next time.